We are back having so much fun, and this week the Southern Arts Series heads out west to LA, Los Angeles, for a conversation with a real Southern belle. She's chasing her dream as a producer. She is an actress and a singer, and our special correspondent James Vallis is joining me now with more. Hello, James.
Hey there, Dee. I tell you, that Southern girl you're referring to is Haviland Stillwell, a Georgia native who grew up in Atlanta and Savannah. She's made it on Broadway, on several hit shows. Some say she's off the chain. Others describe her as a tight little ball of spunk and class. Meet the actress, producer, and recording artist who says she's just trying to stay true to form.
Haviland Stillwell's dream role is part pop culture fantasy and part self-personifying reality. The Los Angeles actress and performer is making a name for herself as a woman of many talents.
Your rash clears up. Penny, hey, sorry about that. Okay, you were spelling that name for me?
She has graced the stage in Broadway revivals of Les Mis and Fiddler on the Roof.
Was exciting. There was a time, then it all went.
And she's popped up on popular network television shows and even put out an album titled How I Roll.
I call it intergalactic glam pop.
Our crew caught up with Stillwell via Skype, and despite the remote interview, Haviland's talent, moxie and southern roots, transmitted strong and clear.
First, look at what's around you and fully maximize everything around you and the people who are around you. I do have to say, being in Hollywood, every time I say I'm from Savannah, the first thing everyone says is, oh, it's so beautiful there. Oh, I want to go there. Or, oh, I went there once and it's the most amazing place. I told them all, I'm like, okay, my dream is to come shoot a television series down here so that I can actually spend a few months here. And you know, of course, my family would be thrilled about that.
These days, Haviland is working in television and film, appearing in Below the Beltway with Tate Donovan.
My talents here.
Then why stay?
It's quiet. I can write my applications.
Well, I don't know.
ABC's Eastwick.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I've obviously heard so much about you.
Yeah.
And a recent episode of CSI New York. She's even busted out the big hair and a Texan twang for The Client List, a Lifetime movie starring Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Just here on business. But tomorrow we're off to Hawaii, and then we're going to New York to do a little shopping.
I give her a very hard time, you know, but always with a smile on my face, because that's how, you know, nice Southern girls are, even when they're being totally just, you know, so nasty. No, I had a great time. I love playing, you know, I love playing character roles. I would love to be on a sitcom or be on even like a David E. Kelly type show or Glee or, you know, something where they really get to be, you know, not caricatures, but they get to be a little bit bigger than life.
And then there's the music. Stillwell says she's been singing since junior high.
Quite literally, you know, when you sing, you're vibrating. Your whole body is vibrating, and you're sending something out to people. I feel like that can be really healing. It can be, you know, without sounding too precious about it. You know, it can really be transformative, I think, for people.
And it's that notion of progress that keeps her motivated. Between acting and writing music, Haviland spends a good deal of time as an advocate for equality and a mentor to aspiring artists.
And find your allies, find the people in your life who you can trust, who will support you no matter what. As chaotic as our world is and as the times that we're living in, you know, what really makes the difference is when somebody just looks in the eye of someone else and just is kind. And I think the arts can, you know, I mean, this sounds sort of cheesy, but the arts can really foster that. Because, you know, anyone can go see a movie and say, oh, I get that. I get that character. I get that guy. I went through that, or, you know, my mom went through that, or my kid went through that, or whatever it is. Same thing with the song. You know, how many times have all of us driving around in our cars and we hear a song and it's like, it feels like, oh my God, I've so been there.
Mr. Henry is out of the office. Can I give him a message?
Yeah, you could tell Mr. Henry that his brother needs to talk to him.
Be kind, be conscious, be aware of yourself, and you know, try and do something every day where you're doing something better than you did yesterday. You know, it just kind of seems that part seems obvious, to just be kind.
It's always good to hear in the minds of someone who has been there and done it. And we have Haviland here in our studio this afternoon by way of Skype. She is in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I know that you're busy.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Now, Haviland, it's been a little while since we talked with you for this piece, and you've been keeping busy. You've been making a steady stream of appearances on stage and online. You've even popped up on VH1. Catch us up on all that.
Yes, I think probably the VH1 show you're talking about is the new Queen Latifah produced show, Single Ladies,
Wow.
which is actually shot in Georgia. They shoot it in Atlanta, and I did a guest spot on an episode, I think the second episode of it, which was called Crimea River, and I played, for those of you who know Atlanta well, I played a Buckhead real estate agent. So,
So you're rich.
Showing two of the main characters at a huge mansion on East Paces Ferry. So, you know, it's a very funny scene, and I was able to play a very different from my client list Southern role, which was a lot sort of nastier and witchier. This one was very, you know, sweet and very excited about showing them the house. So that was really fun, and it was fun to. I've always been a fan of all the stuff that Queen Latifah does, so that was a really fun show to work on. And be back in Atlanta, as you know, as I said in the package, which thank you guys, very, very nice package that you put together.
It was. And we understand that you have another show coming up very soon in Georgia.
I do actually. I am doing a concert in Georgia on Tybee Island, and it will be August 21st. And I don't believe tickets are on sale yet, but it's actually being done through the Tybee Theater, the Tybee Post Theater. So I know that they'll have info on their website, and I'll have info on my website as well as soon as tickets are for sale, and that should be really fun.
Oh, awesome.
How do you get into your character, Haviland? Like when you get into your characters, what's the secret behind that?
How do I get into a character?
Yeah. Is there a secret to acting?
I think that, you know, I try never to judge my characters, and I just, you know, read it a lot, and I try and think about just, you know, what sort of makes that person tick and what makes her, you know, do the things she does. I mean, I've had the fortune of playing a lot of characters who are, you know, more villainous, which I enjoy because I feel like they're usually the people who are kind of either the most wounded or, you know, they have a reason for behaving the way that they behave. So I'm working right now. I wrote and directed and produced a web series, which is premiering August 1st online.
Oh, cool.
And it's called Unicorn Planet. And the character that I play in it is very I'm a channeler, and I'm very new age, and so, you know, the whole thing for that was really kind of just connecting to like being a very peaceful, kind person. So, you know, they're all different, all the characters, but I guess the key is just to like really love them and love playing them.
Oh, okay.
And you're also doing a lot of stuff with technology. I understand you have a Skype-based tutoring program. How can people get involved with that?
Yes. This is a familiar you know, format for me because I do teach private voice lessons, and many of my students are via Skype. So I have students literally all over the country, and you know, and also live and in person in Los Angeles. But that's really fun. So it's always fun to get new students who are, you know, in Georgia or New York or in Washington State or all over. So I love that.
Thank you so much, Haviland. It has been a ball, and we're going to continue to follow you. And now we have someone,
more.
an insider in the biz, as a
Absolutely.
good friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, Haviland.
Bye-bye.
And you can learn more about Haviland on our official website, havilandstillwell.com. So check that out. And if you missed any of our interviews over the last few weeks here on the Southern Art Series, you can check out our website, southernartseries.com. But I tell you, that was a treat, wasn't it?
It really was, and there's so much more I'd like to talk with her about. I might Skype in one of her tutorials. What do we have coming up next week?
Next week, we have another fantastic artist, and actually, it's more of an organization, Gallery RFD, an organization that hit the high note and then came crumbling down. Take a look. All new Southern Art Series. They had it all.
With the events that we ran, we raised about $20,000.
At the top of their game.
Got to host 127 exhibitions in 3 years, work with 1,000 artists, create 52 concerts.
Then the recession hit.
And the reality is, the role of South Carolina's government in the year 2011 can no longer be to fund the Arts Commission at a cost of $2.5 million.
Friday, July 22nd, the effects of those budget cuts straight from the owners themselves.
We didn't receive any grants after that, and Gallery RFD closed.
Plus, could our local groups be next? Don't miss our first ever live in-depth discussion. What you can do and why every dollar counts. Next Southern Art Series. This extended run of the Southern Art Series is sponsored in part by our good friends over at the Columbus Museum, a landmark in the community since 1953. There is something for everyone within the Columbus Museum's 15 historic, artistic, and family-friendly galleries. It's the place for young creative minds. Don't miss the final installment of Wonderful Wednesday, a full day of live performances and fun visual art. Show starts at 10 and 11 a.m. While there, stop through the Transformations Gallery. Paint, play, and let your imagination run wild. Our special thanks to the Columbus Museum, keeping the arts alive here at home. For more information on this incredible organization, head on over to their website, columbusmuseum.com. Great over there at the Columbus Museum. Just an idea for the weekend. Take the kids.
I did when they were babies. Wonderful Wednesday has been around a while.
Wonderful place.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being with us.
No problem,
We'll
Dee.
see you next Friday. And still to come on the Dee Armstrong Show, why you should head out right now and get your school supplies because there are some sales out there. But first, my conversation with a former Columbus television personality, Maria La Rosa.